haircut for this?
Did I what?
Did you get a haircut for this?
No, just for a healthy lifestyle, I got a haircut.
I like it. Solid. You guys are twins. Look at your shirts. It's
I
awesome.
know.
We were up last night. We were talking, what are we gonna wear for the webinar? We didn't know what
Nobody
we were gonna
told
wear.
me.
And you get we're all supposed to wear flannels going forward. Uh, Hello everyone. We'll wait a little bit as some more people trickle in. Fun fact, I think this is the most uh people we will probably have for a webinar. So
So far.
so far, yeah. We'll give it a couple more seconds here. The number keeps going up.
This will be fun. I like when you let me participate.
All right, I think we could probably get started. There's a lot of people in here. So, all right, everyone, welcome back to another Chipley webinar. Um, Hopefully everyone here got the flannel uh update like Craig and I. Um, but today we're going to be doing a deep dive on uniforms and packages, the best way to set them up in your store, the best way to capture name and number options, and the best reports to utilize them. Today, we also have a special guest, Lynn. If you don't know who she is the president of Chipley, and she's also the owner of Burkhart Sporting Goods. So she has lots of experience and knowledge, and not only setting these up in Chipley, but also working with groups too as well. So today's kind of a special guest for that. We're gonna jump right into it. If you guys have questions throughout this whole entire um process, feel free to share them. I will stop Lynn and Craig if I see a good one. Otherwise, we will get to them at the end. But we do want this to be an interactive thing, so feel free to send questions along the way. But Lynn and Craig, the floor is yours.
Let's do it. Yeah, I'm excited to show you guys around and talk about some best practices. So my history is before there was a Chipley. I was a team salesperson at our partner company, Burkhart Sporting Goods. So like Chris said, I've worked with lots of groups and leagues and all sorts of things and have evolved those relationships into being able to really take a lot of the work out of it, both on the part of the league director or whoever it is that, accidentally signed up to be in charge of uniforms for the year, um, all the way to, as a salesperson and in fulfillment in our own business, it sometimes causes lots of headaches and it can be quite a big project. So we're going to just show you some hacks and tricks and things like that inside of Chipley that will hopefully help make it, that whole entire process quite a lot easier. And really, the goal would be to take existing customer relationships that you already have. Maybe you're doing spirit wear for them, but they're getting uniforms from somewhere else, or vice versa. And maybe those uniforms you're doing, but you're not doing them online because of some, caveats or hiccups. Hopefully, we can convince you that doing these types of stores that are uniform heavy or focus is really worth it. So I was talking to these guys yesterday a little bit, and like the one thing people ask me a lot that isn't really a Chipley related question is like, what do you do with a group when they have some kids that are ready and then other kids that aren't ready? How do you do that on a web store? That just seems impossible. So just like timing issues and things that you might face around being able to like coordinate and squish everything into this like group store dynamic. And I guess basically, there's always different scenarios. So we need to cater to the customer the best we can. Let's say we're going to do baseball today. So say the little kids, they have tryouts or whatever a little bit early. They've got their teams all set. They're ready to go. then there's no reason why you need to hold back. Basically, you can go ahead and launch a web store just for that group, or half of the league, and then do a second chance or a second web store or second offering, and still really squish everything into what we would call a bulk order, would have been and will become a bulk order for uniforms or custom hats or whatever, and then do it in 2 heats. That's an option. You can actually split it out into as many as you need to be able to still, functionally run your business, but then also make it work for the customer. So I'll hop in and show my screen. I'll kind of walk through some of the different ways that you can set up stores and packages and things like that. And then happy to answer questions too around just like, hey, what would you do in this scenario or whatever. I'm sure you guys are experiencing a lot of things. There's probably a lot of people in the group today that have, similar pains, I guess, during, the process of sort of building out the entire customer, getting the entire customer relationship from spiritware all the way through to, trinkets and promo items and uniforms and equipment and the whole kit and caboodle. Any questions or anything right off the bat, Chris or Craig?
There's not any so far.
All right, let's rock and roll.
I think
So
we're
this
good.
is, yeah, cool. So this is Chris Merritt Baseball. This is real. This is a live store. This is a Burghardt example, which I selfishly like to use quite a lot. So this store is for the 13s through 16s, and it does have a couple of different uniform packages. So you could see the 13, 14, and 15 club. They have their own package, and it has a series of items within it. And then the older kids, they have a different package altogether. So they, they get the better jersey or whatever. They probably get to spend a little bit more money. And then we also have some a la carte items. So we love offering something twice. So if the league is paying for all of the uniform items, customers checking out at 0, and then we have the opportunity to sort of double sell that customer and give them the opportunity to buy at, at retail price, an extra hat or an extra pair of pants, or, mom hates washing socks every single day. So it's just a really
Or
good way to
dad.
sort of, or dad, both perspectives on the call today. Totally. And then of course, like, I really want to take advantage of the whole customer. I've got their attention. They're excited about their season. I want to really be able to get them on spiritware and any other things that they might need, throughout the year or whatever. So like I began the conversation earlier, doing this more than once is okay. So let's hop into the sort of the back end of how this is built, and then just kind of keep your mind open as to, how you can manipulate these stores for the various different purposes that they might serve throughout the season. What I mean by that is, so I might do this big giant store and it's beautiful and I spent a lot of time making sure that it's like just perfect. Well, I could just turn off any given category or package if those kids are all done ordering. I don't have to show that anymore. Or let's say I want to redo this store, I'm going to copy it and just do Christmas spiritware and not do uniforms at all. And that's completely fine. Now I can really use the work that I put into making this a successful site, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times throughout the year, and really get a big sort of full-on relationship going with this customer. So we're going to walk into the hows and the whys of sort of each step of building a store like this. So this is just my example. It's basically just a direct replica of that live store that I just showed you. We can set this up as a group store or a catalog store. Of course, Chipley can help you make those decisions too. What is the best way to process things in fulfillment? And then we'll just sort of walk through this. There's nothing different about this store than a regular store, other than some of the specific ways that we set things up. So inside of categories, I have the ability to show regular categories, which we would normally be adding. You guys have probably experienced that if you're using Chipley already. And then being able to add those as a package. And that's how I created these 2 packages or player packs. so that the customer is forced to buy every single item within the package. We'll dig into those as well. So I'm just kind of setting myself up as to like how I want my items to be displayed physically on the web store itself. Then we want to hop into, well, how is that going to translate into the work that's going to happen after the store is closed? And the work really occurs as how we organize our products and associate them with processes. So this one has spiritware, so full front printing. This one has embroidery, spiritware. And this one has some hats. And then these at the bottom are specific processes. So this one is jerseys, but they're jerseys for my U13-14. And this one's jerseys and it's different. This is for my 15-16. And they're going to become those packages that show up on the web store. So if I dig in and just kind of hop in and show you guys what's going on here, I have inside of this process, this is different. So the coordinator who's in charge of this group was not able to give us an entire complete roster. And that's completely fine, right? It's kind of hard pulling teeth, getting information out of people. So in this circumstance, I'm just asking for the customer to enter their name and their number on the store. I am restricting the name field to 50 characters, number field to 2 characters, just to, you know, prevent errors or whatever. And then I'm letting the customer, or requiring that the customer enter that information when they fill their package. And that's completely fine. I also have the ability then to do it kind of the opposite way, which is my favorite way of building a store. So when I go into this other one, I'll show you, well, these coaches are very organized and they were able to give us ahead of time what we needed. So this process has nothing in it. It's, you know, it's custom uniforms. It's going to get, you know, custom ordered, but I do need to collect the data, right, of who ordered what size and all that stuff. So now instead of doing just a regular name or number field, I'm actually doing just a hybrid field called names and numbers. And by picking this option type, it's called an exclusive option dropdown. And when I add that, it allows me to upload a list or a spreadsheet or a roster directly from my customer. And what that's doing is it's creating this exclusive dropdown menu. And then we'll go into the e-com site and show you what that looks like. But basically, this is like a leaderboard of everybody that needs to order. And then it's going to show me throughout the life of the site who's ordered and who hasn't ordered. So we'll go back to the differences here. So this is the first package. If I click into that package, the customer experience is really friendly. So they just get a checklist of all the items that they need to offer. I have restricted the quantity of each item inside the package to 1, which we do on the individual product level. So I don't want my customers to be able to get more than one thing when it's free in this case. But now if I go in and I just want to add my items to my package or my cart, I have to add each and every item in order to get past the cart and be able to add the items to my cart. This is the package where I'm just asking the customer to enter their name and number. So it's just a dynamic open field and I can just put, you know, Lynn and 27. Yes, 27 for sure. So that is fine, and that'll come out in a clean report, and it's very easy and no problem. And you can even pause when you're getting ready to fulfill those orders and have the coach or lead director go in and kind of double check and make sure everything is good to go. But the streamlined way of doing that when your customer gets used to working with you is really to get that roster out of them ahead of time if at all possible. And so we've set this package up that way. So we'll go into this package, and now if I look at my jerseys, it actually isn't going to let me type anything. Instead, I'm going to pick my own name, which I really can't screw up. Well, you know, I could, but I'm probably going to get it right. And I'm choosing my own name and associating what I was issued or what I had already selected from the roster. And now when I pick that name and add those items to my cart, it will show up in my reporting, which we'll go into in just a second, automatically. And there's no customer input at that point. The other benefit of doing it this way is if you have the lead director who's kind of trying to manage all of this stuff, they can log into their Chipley site using their own individual logins and manage who has ordered and all that. But really, if it's getting down to the wire, they can actually go to the ecom site, act just like a customer, and this list should be pretty small on the last day or last couple of days of ordering. And they literally can see on here who hasn't ordered yet, because as each individual person orders these items, those are going to fall off or disappear from the list. So sort of anybody can see that like Joe Smith hasn't ordered their stuff yet. We probably want to give him a call. So a couple of benefits of doing it that way, totally understanding that, you know, sometimes it's like pulling teeth getting information out of people, but if you can, you get used to it. It's kind of like a set it and forget it situation where, you know, it's real streamlined, but your meeting before each season is, you know, minutes long instead of hours, because you're able to kind of take care of all of the work on behalf of the customer. So I'll pause for a second. Any like questions or anything specific on like how to set up those processes or how they show up on the website? Everyone's in shock and awe or napping after lunch. One of the two.
We do have a question.
Sure.
You kind of just answered it, but I'll say it again just in case someone else didn't see it. How are you checking who has and hasn't ordered in the exclusive option?
Yeah, so it does actually diminish from the list. So, right, that's so just to reiterate that, I can do that by looking on the ecom site. And then I also have the ability to manage those orders that have come in and compare them to the original spreadsheet, or let the league director sort of manage that for me to make sure that those names are disappearing. But that exclusive option list, to me, it's like, boom, it's automatic. I mean, if the name is gone, they place their order, and then I can go reference that order or sales order specifically if I want more information about it.
All right. All right. Are custom fields required for each item in the package, or can the information from one product populate the other items automatically?
Love that question. Thank you. Right now, today, you do have to, if you want it to report properly and not have to do any like backfilling information, you do want to ask that question on each item which the information is required for fulfillment. There is a new feature coming out that every time you add something to your cart, you can ask a question. So if you add 8 items to your cart in a package, you can ask the question once, and that'll translate into reporting as well. So you'll see that coming soon. And some other enhancements there. But yeah, right now we would recommend just adding those so that they show up in the reports that I'm about to show you guys without having to do any sort of backfilling.
We have a couple here.
Oh, sure.
Actually, some of these are about the reporting,
Okay.
so maybe we'll come back to those.
Yeah, totally. So the most important thing to me always is to be able to translate this into actually placing an order, whether it's a custom sublimated item or, you know, spiritware or hats that I have to order from the manufacturer. That tends to be the thing that people spend the most time on. And I just think that's crazy. We want to make it as easy as possible. So we'll run through a couple report things, and then maybe Chris, keep an eye and see if there's questions like about individual reports, and like interrupt me if you want to also.
Okay.
So this report is called Order Details. I really like this one just from like a bird's eye view of what's going on the store, either when it's already done or just for the coach to be able to check things off his list. So this is really an expanded version of each individual customer and specifically what they ordered. So I can breeze through this and I can see those individual customers and every single thing that they ordered in case I have any question about like a size or, you know, whatever, and make sure that we're on the same page. So again, sort of a self-service report. This is published on the organization login page as well. So they can see and manage these items. And then you can, you know, view that with them on your side as well. And then like link directly to the order in Order Manager if you were to need to make any like changes or edits or adjustments on the orders. So I really like this one. Just it's a really clean way of seeing what's going on. There's an order summary too, which just doesn't show the details. It just shows kind of the totals on each person's order. But then from there, we'll hop into a couple of things. So we'll talk about work orders. We would navigate work orders to here. And then Craig was nice enough to make me some PDFs right away, so we can just view those. So on a work order, this is kind of what's gonna spit out for us. So just like any other store, we're gonna break down this work order into 4 functional pieces. So the first piece being the accounting summary. So what's going on, whether or not I owe the customer or the customer owes me. There's some cool stuff that happens here, but we won't get into too much details, but you can see that like the customer paid with a credit card sometimes, but they also checked out at $0 on some items as well. But if I put my product prices or what I plan on charging my customer in Chipley from the beginning, just like I always would, I can allow the customer to check out at 0 by zeroing out the sell price. And then really collecting here, what that gives me is the amount of money or negative fundraising dollar, the amount of money that the customer owes me when the store is ready to be closed and processed. And I hate math, so I always do it right from the beginning so I don't have to deal with it later. And then I'm really just seeing my processes the way that I set them up. So I have my blank items and a list of what needs to be ordered. I have then my first set of decorated items, what needs to be ordered, and then let's just go into some uniform stuff. So on the uniform items, it did tell me the 10 items that need to be ordered. And then these are custom sublimated items. So you can see on this list, this is really a checklist of what needs to happen. So on each one of these items, organized by size, I now have a spit out of the customer's name and number, name, number, name, number, name, number, which is great, except for I'm never going to type that stuff. That would be ridiculous. And I don't want to deal with it ever, ever, ever. So I'm going to use this as a reference pointer, maybe to check things off my list, but I'm not going to use it to order my uniform items. I'm going to use a special spreadsheet that's made literally just for this purpose so that I don't have to deal with figuring outing at this point. So my work order organizes everything by what work needs to be done, compiles all that information, don't have to be doing any sort of gymnastics to put that stuff together. And then we'll hop over to this spreadsheet. So this is called an options export. So we'll just toggle back over to Chipley really quick. If I go to my work orders page, so we'll let the work orders page load. I'm pretty much gonna find like everything I need under fulfillment here. So fulfillment and tools. So work orders are a very, very, very powerful tool. We hope that you're using them either in an export form or paper form or on screen, doesn't matter. But basically my work orders give me the ability to export that PDF version that I just showed you. And it also gives me the ability to export options. When I click export options, I literally get this spreadsheet. So it's a lot to look at the moment, but that's because I have all my club jerseys, all of my 15-16s jerseys, all my hats, and then all my other select hats or different kind of hat. So if I look at those by section, I can see right off the bat that I have all of the colors separated. It's already organized this way, so I don't have to like reorganize it. And then I'm seeing what are the sizes that I need to order of that jersey. And then all of the names that I need to put on them. So name, number. So size, name, number, basically. I can delete all the other information that I don't need. So let's just look at it this way. Now I've got size, quantity, name, number. And that is 100% of the information that I need to be able to go and upload this information to any sublimation company. So if you guys are using Champro, Juice, or Allison, or any other, sort of mutual providers, this information is very readily organized and available for you without having to copy or paste. Craig, do you think I should show them the uppercase thing?
Yes, someone actually asked about that, so I was going to
Okay,
stop
cool.
you and have you do that.
Yeah, no problem. So this is where this becomes the non-Chipley conversation basically, and turns into like an Excel experts conversation. So I would just like make a replica for myself, just, I don't know, just out of habit. And then I can do a formula here. So I can do equals and then upper, because I need to order my uniforms from Allison with everything in uppercase. And then I can point to the original field and then finish the formula and then pull it down. So now I have all of my names showing for me in uppercase. And then I can actually take this whole column, and then I can select all of the items that I need to order. And then I can select And I can actually right click, drag it, drop it back where it was, and copy here as values only. Now, if I click into each field, you can see that I have exactly what I need to be able to go and take it. So I can actually just delete all the other columns. If I feel healthy about what I did, I'll just replace the originals and get rid of all that stuff. And now I am good to go. So it doesn't matter if the customer knows how to spell their name or whatever. I have a chance to double check, and I can even format everything properly and then go ahead and do uploads. If you are not uploading to a sublimation company website that I mentioned or that you're commonly using, please make sure that you reach out to us so that we can show you how to use those upload functionalities. They all have them. So Founders, Augusta, Allison, Champro, I'm sure there's a lot more of them. But they all have an upload feature that this is really, really useful for. So just wanted to make sure you guys know that that's available. This options export is just, it's just killer for being able to finish everything off at the end. Chris, did you have, that's kind of like a big deal for me. So I don't know, do you have any other questions that you want to ask right away while we cover that?
Craig got the one, or you covered the one that you and Craig about the capitalization
The
of
upper,
the,
yeah, that's
yeah,
a big
that was a big
deal.
one.
Yeah.
I think for now that's all the ones on reporting, unless anyone else has
Okay.
any other questions on that. But there is some other ones on just some general other information.
Well, I'll be done with showing stuff and then we can kind of go through any other questions. I don't have much more to show, but I did want to kind of just introduce, if you're not already using sorting checklist and packing slips in the uniforming stores or where there's like just a lot of stuff going on. The sorting checklist is the most critical piece. So again, this store just launched. There's going to be hundreds of orders. I don't have very many yet, so it's just a good way to kind of show you guys. So I have pile 1 and there's hats that go in it. I have pile 2 and there's jerseys that go in it. Pile 3, other kind of jerseys. Pile 4, 5 people ordered this hat so far. Breaks everything down just so I can lay it out really nicely. I can put my hats all in a pile, my jerseys all in a pile, my pants all in a pile, my socks all in a pile, belts, etc. There's gonna be like a lot of stuff, and each order is gonna be really big. So I want to make sure that I don't mess it up because it's super critical. I want that process to be streamlined, and I want to be able to ask my friends for help because I don't want to be back there sorting my baseball order by myself all day long. In this case, if I'm organizing and laying everything out in these sorting piles, it really helps me be able to like add more ammunition or fuel to that so that I can get through it quite quickly. That creates like assembly line work. So then when I go to my packing slips, you can see, yes, every kid is going to order a lot of stuff. So that's good. That's what we want. And then I know that I can go through each of these and just choose from each pile. So go to pile 4, pick a hat, go to pile 5, pick a jersey, go to pile 6, pick a jersey. And then all I really have to look at that point is the making sure that I'm picking the right color and then size, and then it is displaying for me right here that customer organization information. Sorry, these guys are being really loud in here, so if it's distracting for you, it's definitely distracting for me. But just makes it really easy to pick stuff. So even when they do add the rando spiritware items, like this customer's order is, you know, $0, which is probably like a $300 worth of uniform items, plus what they paid on their own out of their pocket, which is another $250. Definitely a $500 order, one guy, right? That is what I'm looking for, man, because now I got all their uniform items and they ordered some extra hat, extra pants, extra socks, all these spiritware pieces. Mom needs something too. And that's really kind of the angle that we're going for here is now I have ownership of this whole customer relationship. They love it. I love it. Everybody wins. And I have all the tools in place to not make it like a huge pain in the butt. So that was it. I do want to show one more thing. And the last thing that we're going to go through will be just purchasing really quick. So if you're not already using automated purchasing, I would highly recommend that you're looking into it because it is awesome. We do not have digital purchasing for those sublimated items just yet, but that will be a huge initiative for Chipley in 2025. So you'll start to begin seeing the ability for you to not have to go download that options export, but actually place a digital purchase order. with either custom decorated items or sublimated items from some of our vendor partners. So it's kind of a big deal. We want to be able to leverage that as much as possible. In the meantime, we will always recommend that you order your blanks and anything that you can order digitally directly from purchasing. And then I am going to go into one more kind of weedsy detail, okay? And Chris might get mad at me for this part, but so if I click into, let's say, what do you think? Were those pants? Were the pants Champro pants?
I think they were, if I
So I
remember
just want to kind
correctly.
of show that weird thing where, okay, yeah, they're blank items. So I have 17 blank items to order. And I kind of broke the whole system because
They were
I
Champro.
have, yeah, so I have these Chambro pants, and they come in from an inventory feed and I can order them digitally. But as a salesperson, I kind of hacked the system because I wanted the customer to be able to order any of the different varieties of pants all as one item in my package. So I broke the SKU, right? And I said, forget it. I'm not just selling the BP70. I'm actually selling all of these different ones. And now I'm not able to purchase those items digitally, which is a huge bummer. And we've got a couple things coming very, very soon. You'll see probably in the next 30 days, this new feature released, which is called group products. And basically what that means is if I go back to my store here and I go to my package, you can see on the pants that this is basically three separate processes or three separate products, actually six, because there's youth and adult. And I have now squished them all together to give my customer all of the different variety needed. And that's kind of what breaks the system, but it allows me the flexibility for my customer to order whatever it is that they want, all under the one package umbrella, makes everything else easier. But we want it to be like a win-win-win for everybody involved in the whole scenario. So what you'll see with group products is the ability to create the illusion that these pants belong together. But fundamentally, they'll still remain their own self or their own thing, which means I won't break the inventory feed. I won't break the purchasing feed. I will be able to buy these items once again using the purchasing utility and automation. So that's something to look forward to, and I am very excited about it. So I'm going to show it to you guys. Don't tell anybody.
The public webinar.
The public webinar will just kidding. You guys are the first to see though. So this is just like a 2-minute video. So I'm just gonna kind of verbally walk through it, but basically I can offer items in a category and in a package, but now I can also offer items in a group, and a group can belong in a category or a package. And you can see that little eyeball button, it says see items. So I can actually click into the product, and now the product is going to show me, just like it did on the old version, without breaking the product, it's going to show me the 6 different versions of the product. And I can then choose the product that I want to purchase, and then the color and sizes and whatever, and just add that item to my cart just like I always would. You can do that functionally within just a regular product. So squish 2 products together and say, choose one. Restrict them to just one. And then I can do it with multiple designs or processes too, if it's shirts or whatever. And then I can also add multiple of those items to my cart. And most importantly for me and for everybody on this call that's interested in uniforms and packages is that these items can be squished all together and still appear as one item inside of a required uniform package. So it's a huge deal. We're just showing right here that if you have lots and lots of choices, so 50 different products, then the tabs now go away and the tabs will become a drop-down menu, just easier to look at. And that all then translates back to the main part, which is most important for me. And that would be, there we go. That would be to allow these items to show up in purchasing and allow me to digitally purchase them and manage inventory using the fundamental value that we're getting from the vendor. So that was very exciting for me. I know you guys are like so excited too. But that's it. That's all I had. Any questions or anything else that you guys want me to walk through?
There's just a couple general ones in here as others start to ask their questions. Um, can packages be discounted or free compared to the a la carte products?
Yeah, totally. So on my product spreadsheet inside of the store, so I'm gonna go back to my fake one really quick just to kind of show you how that works. You can see that it's happening here. Wait, where am I? Here. So I can see that I'm actually offering these products, the package is 0, literally. So that's like team issue, part of their league fees, whatever. I could do it at different prices or like a league uniform pricing or whatever, where each product is normal. And then I can offer those products totally separately at whatever price I want. And that's, I mean, great way of doing it because you can show the sort of the intrinsic value or MSRP value of the product here, add fundraising to those items, and then still offer them in that sort of uniforming package. So on the back end of things, if I look at my sample store, we'll go to the products tab and just kind of show you that what I'm doing is I'm building out my package. And then I am copying any products that I want to offer twice in 2 separate ways. So if there's something fundamentally different about the product, I can't put it in 2 categories and expect it to behave differently. But what I can do is I can just take that item and copy it. So just click on it and hit copy. And now that item will be a direct replica, and I'll have some of them that I'm selling at the $0 price, and then the one that I added at the bottom, I can manipulate that price however I wish. So if I go back, to that hat or whatever I'm gonna do, let's just go here. Then I can have it appear here. So this one I can have it appear actually originally it was that way. Now it's $29. So that hat actually does appear twice on the store, once at 0, once at 29.
The other thing you would want to do with that copied item is then change the maximum quantity value to be more than one. Because when it's an a la carte item like that, you don't care how many they order at that price. You're actually encouraging more, I would argue. So you want to change that maximum quantity limit to 100 or whatever. It could be more than 100. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a great point. So this is where you would do that. So on your packaged items, you would restrict these to minimum 1, maximum 1. And then on non-packaged items, you would then change that, add in your fundraising, change your dollars or whatever, and then just go into that edit product hover and change the min max on it.
Perfect.
You guys are pros. Everybody's gonna be a pro after this call. It's awesome.
Someone asked, will the pants that are all together, will they have a different sort number or will it be combined in one?
They'll be on one sort number if you do it this way. So this way is going to become obsolete very quickly here. But the way that it is right now, the way that you will behave today if you were building a store would be to squish them together, and then it will become one sort number. Yeah. You can call them a different thing. So in this case, he's now labeled this whole size color grid as basically changed the name of each size to short pants, and then the youth through adult, and then the tapered pants, youth through adult. So there he's able to just set, and then there's actually 3 kinds on this one, long, youth through adult. So basically just went into that product, edited that product here, and then literally ditch all the whole size run from the previous product and add in the entire big giant size run that you need. Where you would do that is just manage sizes on the product. So we always recommend that you just take all the original sizes that may have come in on a product feed, just highlight them and just delete them all. And then you can add sizes in a list. So you don't have to do them one at a time. Youth, small, whatever, youth, medium, and then you can add the entire list just by adding sizes. Now you have a whole new run, and that will help your customer and you know what you're supposed to do.
Perfect. Um, we can do
I
this
think we
question.
answered.
I'll
Go
let you go,
ahead.
Craig.
It's just, is there a way to put in a fixed inventory for products in a package and a la carte? And I think copying the product is what answers that. Like if you only want to sell a certain amount of one item um in the package versus the a la carte, you would change the like what you have your fixed inventory level.
Yep, so this item, I would type in my fixed inventory level. So let's say I pre-ordered a bunch of hats and I have, 100 of each size. This will dwindle it down. But this is only attached to that one product. So what you cannot do right now is have that product appear twice and have the inventory managed only once. So these hundreds are only attributed to the package level, and the a la carte level would have its own inventory levels that I would have to enter separately. New sneak peek feature also, though, is with dealer inventory that will be coming this year as well. You will be able to reference one umbrella inventory and apply it to the same product in two different places. So two categories, or package, not package, or that kind of thing. But right now you do have to assign a specific value to each and every product as it appears on the store.
Perfect.
And yeah, while you guys are coming up with the next one, just kind of digging that a little bit farther. If you do have a product that has inventory and you don't want to use that inventory, you want to do your own and type them in, you just provide it here. And then you have that field that opens up and you are able to enter that inventory right there.
Perfect.
All my tricks, all my tricks today.
All right. How come there's negative fundraising in the packages? Why not just make the product price 0?
Great question. Love that. So when I referenced the balance sheet earlier, that's kind of what I was referring to. So basically what I want is for Chipley to always calculate for me what happened on the store. So I do not want to go back and try and be like, okay, well, I have to send my customer an invoice, right? Because everything's being paid at 0 on the cart, but now I have to go back and build in all my pricing and then somehow figure out how to send them some sort of invoice or whatever. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to put the real true cost, or what I plan on charging, the negotiated league price for the uniforms, in the product price column. And then I'm just going to zero that out using the fundraising function. So it's like the opposite of fundraising. I'm going to charge the customer $27 when the store closes for these items. And what that does for me is it allows Chipley to automatically do 100% of the math for you, and then results in this. Wrong one. This balance sheet here, which tells me that the customer owes me a grand total of X without me having to like figure out the math.
Perfect.
It's
Does
really
anyone...
weird when you have uniforms at 0 and you didn't put in any of the pricing, and then you have like a whole bunch of spiritware items on there and you're collecting real money, and then it's like your mind's gonna explode. So this creates like, nope, it's done, it's good, it doesn't matter. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
No, you're all good. Does anyone else have any other questions with just anything that Lynn's gone over, or anything else kind of while we have you guys?
I would just encourage everybody to try this. I can, speaking from historical experience, when you have customers that are used to giving you a spreadsheet or working with you kind of doing the way that they do it, it is very common for us at Chipley to have new customers onboarded. They're comfortable now with spiritware. Websites are now easier. Everything's great. They're not willing to sort of take the leap toward doing this uniforming and packaging online. I would say, do it. Use a customer that trusts you, and figure out ways to manipulate Chipley to be able to say yes to every question that they have, because ultimately every customer is going to require this eventually if they aren't already, because not only are you streamlining your own workflow in your business, but you are setting that customer up to have to do substantially less work in the future and trust you way, way more through that ordering process versus going somewhere else. So it's a really great way to, you know, solve these problems and get in front of that customer that trusts you to do spareware or trusts you to do these uniforms, you know, the old school way, and really kind of like just hit a complete home run, which is very timely for this baseball store that we, you know, built today.
Perfect. I think the questions are kind of dwindling. Craig, I think this question's more for me and you because we do the webinars. Should we do an Excel tips and tricks
Yeah, I think
session? We could.
I'm not qualified for that. I click around
Yeah.
until things work out. I can't teach it.
Yeah,
there's so many though.
there is.
But also like the whole Chipley sales and account management team, they have no problem answering non-Chipley related questions. So feel free to like ask, oh, what would you do with this situation? Or like, hey, this seems like it's taking me a long time on Excel. You know, do you know a better way? Because we, you know, very likely have experienced that same pain.
I think that is all the questions for now.
All right.
Cool.
If you have any questions that you don't think got answered, or you want to learn a little bit more about, or you have a specific scenario that you think requires a little bit more attention to detail, always reach out to the team Chipley at chipley.biz email, or give us a call at 262-202-8129.
Cool. Thank you, Lynn, for hopping on this. That was great.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me. See you guys. Talk
All
soon.
right. See ya.